video is brought to you by Letsynthisize Academy, the #1 place for practice-oriented courses for serious music producers.
Yo, Letsyn here, welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode, and today I replicated Skrillex's Rumble song 90% accurately. Like always, you can grab this whole project from my Patreon below and click here. I have lots of very cool dubstep start to finish courses, but right now let's jump into it. Okay, so here is the remake once again. And the original one. Okay, so let's start with the drums because that is the simplest thing. So I have the kick, snare, a hat, a tambourine, another hat that basically is just part of the percussion that fades in as we go to the end of the second bar. So let me show it to you. Okay, so I love this technique, by the way, but if you could select all the heads, as you can see, I'm selecting everything on the head row, and if I hit Ctrl B, so I'm selecting this pencil here, go down to the velocities and hold Ctrl and start drawing, I can draw in some nice ramp on the velocities of the notes that I just selected. So this is a pretty nice technique using the velocities only. Okay, and the second thing is I had to use a low pass filter on the trap E heads here, to try to replicate what Skrillex did. And this is the drums, it's very simple. Let's go with this sound. So it is very simple. It's basically my voice singing something like let me show it to you. This is the whole thing. I put a whole lot of reverb and some EQ to it. I bet that Skrillex used some sort of vocal too. So this is it all. Okay, let's go to the growl bass. I saw a video on YouTube, a guy tried to replicate it, remake this sound inside Serum using whatever wavetables, but it's very simple. It's just a sine wave modulated by probably another sine wave, but I used a triangle instead. So course 1 on both of the oscillators or operators, because we are talking about FM terminology. And, I just automated the FM amount, which is the level of operator B. And I had to apply some filtering, but no movement on it. So this is it. It's a very simple sound. Let's go to the main bass, because probably you might think that this was a kick sound, and probably it was, I don't know, but I'm Letsynthisize, so I had to synthesize it. So again, it's a very simple sound, but it took me a while to figure out every settings. So I'm opening a new audio track, and if I put it right below the original one, I can select and show you how accurate my synthesized version. Not completely the same, but still you can see that we have this little higher frequency kind of thing and lower frequency part going right after that. Let's go into detail. So the first one is a simple sine wave, as you can see. The envelope is quite short, and I'm modulating only the beginning, so this part is created by this envelope. So the operator B, which is frequency modulating on course 0.5, operator A. And this is what creates this higher frequency kind of thing here. So as you can see, I'm using a quite high attack time, and that is again pulls up the frequency on this part. So this was the goal here, to apply some frequency modulation only on the very beginning of the sound, and some pitch. So this is basically the punch part of the kick, so where it hits a little more. And I also had to use a low pass filter, but I'm opening it up on the attack of the kick. So let me show it to you. If I pull back everything, the difference is very subtle here, but with the pitch envelope, you can hear how harder it hits with the pitch envelope. And if I pull back operator B as a frequency modulator, and also the pitch envelope is just a rumble really, so it doesn't have that kicky kind of sound. But after that I had to add some extra saturation. I had to kill the higher frequencies because, you know, the original one didn't have it, so I decided to kill it too. And some extra notch at around 260 Hz to avoid the boomy frequencies. It's not very pleasing, so I had to make some adjustments to it. And the utility is here only for the sidechain. So this is all for the bass sound. Okay, so as I told you before, I heard that Skrillex used some percussion layer on top of the bass and this little tweety kind of synth sound. This is why I duplicated the bass and I just tried to move at around, you know, 300, 400, 500 Hz. So this is the frequency that I heard that Skrillex added on top of the bass sound. Let me show it to you in the spectrum analyzer. So this is the frequency that I hear that must have been some sort of percussion sound. So I decided to make it as a layer. So I duplicated the bass and I just tried to focus on this frequency area, the 370 Hz area, with some extra distortion and then chopping off the unwanted frequencies up with a low pass filter. And last but not least, the tweety synth. Again, this is a very simple sound. I'm using a saw wave modulated by a square wave, but the modulator, the square, is 2 octaves higher, so this is why it is on course 4. And I also had to modulate the low pass filter with some soft distortion. I added 2 voices of unison and some reverb and some EQing to the end. But of course I had to go in and add the pitch envelope. So as it drops down at the end, you can clearly hear it in the synth and in the original too. Okay, so if you want, you can grab this whole project from my Patreon below and click here for my Academy for awesome start to finish courses. I have a lot of dubstep masterclasses, but see you guys next time. Peace.